Honky Steve, we've told
Then
you
you'll
about
see.
the honking.
Yeah, get out of it.
I'm gonna honk all night. You can't do nothing about it.
Calm down, Honky Steve. No, I'll do what I want, Sandwich Sam.
Hello and welcome to this week's BW but FEIG, the show with the acronym that is not really at all any easier to say. What a bunch of piss-soaked turnips this week's been, eh? And likely quite a few weeks to come. This is what the situation so many of us have envisaged and possibly written a spec screenplay for in our heads. What would a worldwide fuckstorm look like in 2020? And what is the answer? Empty supermarket shelves where the toilet paper used to be, of course. That's being flippant, obviously. There's a lot more to the situation than some confusing panic buying. People are shutting themselves away indoors, major events are being cancelled, workplaces and schools are heading towards shutdown. Casual and freelance workers, people in entertainment, hospitality, retail, etc., all wondering how they'll earn money for the next month or two. In these worrying times, it is refreshing to see an institution stand defiant against all the reality happening around them. The Victory Life Church, founded by tennis champion Margaret Court, made the announcement on Tuesday that it will be continuing services as usual. Quote, "Your health and safety is a top priority for us, and we have taken a proactive approach to keep our church family healthy and safe," the church said. "We are in agreement that this COVID-19, sick, will not come near our dwelling or church family. We are praying daily for you, knowing that we are all protected by the blood of Jesus." Following that logic then, we should probably assume that no member of that church has ever gotten ill from anything. What an incredible phenomenon. And why would it just apply to sickness? Surely being protected by the blood of Jesus allows you the ability to hurl yourself out a window of a high-rise building, floating pleasantly down to the street below rather than having to wait for a slow-ass elevator. If the old saviour blood protects from disease, surely it can protect from gravity. Does this mean that the Victory Life people are immortal? Whoa. Surely they should be throwing themselves in front of cars so they can then sue and rake in cash from insurance. You are missing a trick there, Victory Life nutbags. Well, let's see if there's anything else happening this week aside from the old corony. Well, there's a puppy with one ear in the middle of its head. That's a bit weird. Ooh, there's an article here on NPR with the headline, "Why America is Losing the Toilet Race." That's a catchy headline. I'll go back and read that one later. There's a story of the lady who had her house burned down and her sister die in a car crash on the same night. So the local news team, ABC 13 in Virginia, sent around the weatherman to give her a signed umbrella. That's there. Right, this is what I'm after. California woman dreamed about eating engagement ring, woke up to find that she really did. "I popped that sucker off, put it in my mouth and swallowed it with a glass of water," Jenna Evans wrote in a Facebook post about the ordeal. Jenna apparently was having a very James Bond-style dream with bad guys and speeding trains, which culminated in her seemingly needing to swallow her engagement ring. So she did in real life. I should have just stuck to the toilet paper stuff, shouldn't I? That was rubbish. Anyway, apologies if you're hearing some birds in the background here. I'm in my lounge room doing this in lockdown. You may occasionally hear my son clinking his cereal bowl. Yeah, he seems to need to do a rim shot on the bowl every time he takes a spoonful. You might hear that from time to time. Just before I get into a chat with Monty, I thought I might just harken back to last week's episode and the section where we were talking about instant underpants. Looking through this week, I found a review, like a Google review, of said underpants, which I thought was quite amusing, and I thought I'd read out to you. So Michael C. writes of the instant underpants, 3 out of 5 stars. Not as sexy as I had imagined. His review goes on. I bought these hoping to have something sexy to put on in a hurry if that special moment arose. As I usually go commando, I thought this could help spice up the night in the right situation. I was terribly wrong. I hurried into the bathroom when the moment arose and added water as instructed. By the time the underwear rehydrated, I was already starting to soften up. Finally, they were ready. I put them on and was immediately discouraged to see that these were not the thong version that I had thought I had ordered. My bad on that probably. When I emerged from the bathroom in the soggy panties, and with limber timber, my date began laughing hysterically, started choking, and vomited on the bed. I cried for a moment, but luckily the instant underwear helped with the cleanup, and it didn't ruin my Scooby-Doo comforter. I would probably buy these again, just in case the moment arose once more, no annoying string in the back to itch the crack. Goodbye for the money, I guess. So, you too could have an experience like that if you just pop on and buy those instant underpants. I don't lead you astray here. I stand behind everything I talk about here on this podcast, including weird instant underpants.
Yes, welcome back to A Bit Weird, but fair enough, I guess. With me is my very good mate, Monty. Monty, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
How are you today, sir?
Yeah, pretty good. I've got an international flight tomorrow, so I'm a little nervous about that. But not too nervous.
Yeah, and you're going to?
Canada.
Where specifically?
Edmonton.
Average temperature there?
Cold. Very cold.
Sucked in. It's like minus 20 or something a lot of the time, isn't it?
It's going to be pretty cold.
Kind of idiotic places.
Yeah, pretty weird, but hey, that's all right, right? Is that the name of the show? Pretty weird, but hey, that's all right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, good.
Look, I am going to start this section by telling you a weird law that I've found.
I like this. You've told me weird laws before. I'm excited about this one. Maybe I can break it today.
There are a disproportionate amount of idiotic laws across this world of ours.
Yeah, I know. I've heard it's illegal to steal someone's identity.
Yeah, no, you don't think it should be?
I was showing that I know laws.
Oh, laws, yeah. Did you finish that law degree? No, okay. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about a law from Arkansas, USA.
Arkansas, dingus.
It says Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I'm sure that's a very amusing argument that happens a lot over there. The law is as follows. It is against the law to honk a car horn at a sandwich shop after 9 p.m. So that is a law that is written as such. 9 p.m. You dare fucking honk a horn at a sandwich shop. You better hope the popo's not on your back, because
I've found, right, some of these kind of inane specific laws, to me, it just makes me feel like someone once did that too much. Like, for them to want to make a law, they were like, fuck, Barry, fuck, every night, man, coming out here, fucking honking your horn at the sandwich store.
Well, that just sounds like one particular counsellor had one beef with somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And then somehow got through a law. Yeah, I completely get that. I saw one the other day, which was, I was at a park, and it was like, there was a water bit, like a pond, and it said like, no ducks, no this, no that, and then tacked on the bottom with the same sign made, but obviously had come later, was no nude wading. And it was like, surely they were like, we didn't make the sign like expressive enough. Too many people think it's okay to nude wade in here.
Tacking things on
exactly,
the
right? Yeah.
Sorry, no ducks?
I couldn't come up with what it was. I think the ducks are fine there.
Okay.
And also they can't read signs.
No, that's my problem with that.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. The only way they're going to learn is if, you put signs up. They're not going to learn if you don't.
Yeah, what, teaching ducks to read, you mean? Yeah. At least ducks aren't going to fucking drive out the front of your sandwich store and honk after 9. That's really specific.
No. So the exact wording of the law, and it's from Little Rock.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
No person shall sound the horn on a vehicle at any place where cold drinks or sandwiches are served after 9 p.m.
Okay, the
So
cold,
that
cold
actually
drinks,
broadens it
that
out a
broadens a little. Can't go out the front of a bar. You can't tell your mates you're out the front ready to pick them up from the bar by honking at them. Got to get out and go in.
Yeah, bar.
Cold
drinks.
beverage. Cold beverage.
Wow, I hadn't thought of that.
Maybe it's one of those laws. Maybe this is a conjunction law. Some states or some places, if you serve booze, you have to also serve food.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like in Arkansas, you have to serve sandwiches with your booze.
Well, maybe there was a lot of fights being started by people honking horns outside.
Come on out here, dickhead. Yeah.
Outside bars.
Bring a sandwich, you fuck.
But the hospitality lobby in that, so you can't write a law that
Big hospitality, yeah.
that excludes us. So they went, all right, we'll make it about sandwich shops. And then we'll add this bit about cold
beverages and sandwich shops. Yeah, what a bizarre law. It appears as if America's full of them. Just these weird state laws that are just...
Yeah, are they all from times when, any old hick who wanted to be
This is obviously
mayor.
from the times when we had cars.
Yeah, but I meant the tradition of making up any old law that peeved you, one person off particularly.
Yeah, I don't want you doing that, Steve. Let's, we'll make a law about it.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. All right, I'll make a law about it,
Old
Steve.
honky.
I'll run for governor, and then
Yeah.
I'll be the governor and make a law about it.
Honky Steve, we've told
Then
you
you'll
about
see.
the honking.
Yeah, get out of it.
I'm going to honk all night. You can't do nothing about it.
Calm down, Honky Steve. No, I'll do what I want, Sandwich Sam. It's like, I've got just the law for you, Steve.
Anyone got any more information about that? I'd love to hear it. I couldn't find out any wise.
I also would like someone from Arkansas to write in and set Stu straight. It's Arkansas.
All right, mate.
But which is weird in itself, because Kansas is Kansas.
Yeah.
And AR is R. Yeah, go on.
So I'm just going to tell you a brief story, if that's all right.
Please, that is
before
all
you
right.
tell me one.
I've got one to tell you.
You have? Great. During World War II, the crew of the British submarine HMS Trident kept a fully grown reindeer called Pollyanna aboard their vessel for 6 weeks. Okay?
It doesn't work for podcasts, but I made a very confused face.
You did. That's okay. People probably, it's implied. I would suggest people would understand that.
A reindeer. On the submarine.
So imagine a World War II submarine. Imagine how pleasant and spacious that is.
Ew, they were smoking down there, weren't they? Punching durries.
They were smoking
Yeah,
down
I think they were.
But imagine that's these days. But yeah, 6 weeks in a sub with a reindeer. So this was a gift from the Russians. The Russians gave it because obviously World War II, Brits and Russians allies. There's a great BBC article here. I'll read a couple of bits from. So
Did you say Baby C?
I don't know.
I know you mean the BBC, but it sounded weird.
Well, let me go again and
Baby
see.
C.
The BBC. There's a BBC article here that's quite good. I'll read a couple of bits for you. So,
Go on.
the 56 crewmen spent 6 weeks sharing their already confined living accommodation with the fully grown reindeer nicknamed Pollyanna.
Pollyanna's also a weird... When you're nicknaming an animal that's living with you, you'd want it shorter, wouldn't you?
Pollyanna? Well, it's not like they haven't got a lot of, they're not short on time down there, I'm guessing.
Good point.
You've got lots of time to pronounce full.
Come here, reindeer Pollyanna.
Syllabic names. The story goes that the British captain had mentioned his wife had trouble pushing her pram through the snow in England, and the Russian admiral said, "What you need is a reindeer." No, that was South African. I'm going again. What you need is a reindeer. I'm not
Maybe avoid the accent.
Now let's do one without the accent.
Yeah.
What you need is a reindeer, mate. And I suppose because it was a gift, they didn't want to seem rude by refusing this.
Wait, so who wanted the reindeer to help the baby pram? That was the British who?
So for whatever reason, imagine this scenario. I'm not sure how it happened, but you got your British admiral
Yeah.
and your Russian admiral,
Okay.
submarine captains,
Cool.
talking to each other.
Yes.
One of them's bitching about his wife not being able to push her pram through snow.
And one suggests you need a reindeer.
We've got one here. Have it, mate. It's yours. Just take
Oh, but
it.
how will I get him back?
Well,
Chuck it on your sub, you dickhead.
yeah, what do you think? You got a
How
submarine.
do you get anywhere,
Yeah.
you?
So,
What a bizarre scenario.
and he didn't want to seem rude by saying, it's fucking mental to bring this reindeer onto my submarine.
Couple of things. I don't know if this is taking it in the wrong direction. During World War II, my assumption is that submarines were all male. Like, you didn't have any chicks working on a submarine?
No, I would suggest not. But where are you going with that?
You would suggest that there are no chicks on the submarine?
That's my strong feeling on the matter. Yeah.
You reckon after 60 days underwater,
Oh, what are you doing?
start looking at a reindeer?
Well, hang on. It doesn't say.
What gender the reindeer
gender
is? I don't think
polyamorous
that matters.
May not
after-
matter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's
yeah,
not.
yeah, okay.
But then also, so that's where I went first. But don't worry about that. What about eating the reindeer?
Well, that's another point. Like, I don't think.
Surely the crew are like, what the fuck have we got this reindeer on here
Yeah.
for?
Well, there's no suggestion the crew was short on rations.
Do submarines?
The reindeer was short on rations.
Yeah. Well, okay. do submarines shoot like their waste into the sea?
Yes, I know. Yeah, that's where
That
I
you
went
do know
first.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of kind of slipping and a sliding, but I would assume that you need to be in the toilet area for that to happen. What are you doing? Pushing a reindeer into a cubicle?
No, not at all. I was going another way.
Okay.
I actually came up with a different thought.
Right.
Which was, so if I eat a sandwich on a submarine
Yeah.
after 9 while someone's honking at me, if I eat a sandwich on a submarine, goes through me bowels and I poop it out,
That's the traditional kind of process, yeah?
does that sandwich poop then get shot into the ocean? Or does
Alright.
it stay aboard the ship?
Look, I'm fairly sure it gets jettisoned. I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to understand where you're going with this.
I actually just came up with a different query in my head, which was, if you were in
You
a
remember
submarine...
we're talking about reindeers here.
Yeah. Does the submarine slowly get lighter and lighter due to all the poop it's expelling?
Well, no, because the food that's being eaten... Right. Oh, I see what
Yeah,
you mean.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I thought if they ate the reindeer, it wouldn't change the weight of the ship because the poop would stay on the ship. But
Why do you think they're eating the reindeer? Why is that where you go? It's a pet. It's a gift.
Sure, well, I don't know. I reckon you get sick of whatever they're feeding you on the submarine.
Well, yeah, but
Can
venison...
you Google up submarine rations World War II for me?
I will, but can I get through this article first? And
I
then...
thought this whole thing was about tangents. I'll
right.
Google up the rations while you're telling me about them.
Fine. Living with a reindeer underwater in wartime conditions inevitably posed some challenges for the crew. A barrel of moss given by the Russians soon ran out, and Pollyanna lived on scraps from the galley. She also developed a taste... Oh, well, it does say she. Developed a taste for wartime favourite carnation condensed milk.
Oh, yeah, I actually know what that is.
Yeah, so do I. So,
Yeah.
Like, you're in the... They'd be going feral in the kitchen eating all the condensed milk.
I would too. That stuff's great.
Here's a good visual image for you. Pollyanna was originally lowered into the submarine through a torpedo tube of the sub. And it was hoped she could sleep in the torpedo and food store. However, she apparently had more refined taste and insisted on sleeping under the captain's bed.
Oh, that's nice. This is great. I'm
Yeah.
really excited about this.
Bill Sainsbury said, there are a lot of funny stories. Apparently, when the submarine surfaced to air, she would barge her way through the narrow corridors to the main hatch to get fresh air before returning to the office's men.
Bill said that.
Bill did, yeah. I didn't mention who Bill was before,
No,
but
it doesn't matter.
it's of little import, I think. What is more important is just the idea of getting nudged out of the way by a fucking reindeer so I can get to the hatch first.
So I'm just doing a quick little bit of reading about submarine life in World War II. It doesn't sound nice.
No.
Sounds like it was very smelly down
Yeah,
there.
I'm taking it as read that people probably understand what it's like on a World War II sub, i.e. not very fun.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to find out what they ate. Oh, well.
Anyway.
Back to the reindeer. How interesting. I like the concept of it sleeping in the torpedo bit.
Yeah, and someone forgetting it's there.
Oh, no.
Coming under it.
Yeah. It's great.
Being in an enemy sub and just seeing some antlers poke through the wall of your
Very
submarine.
Monty Python. Very, very Holy Grail.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, can you imagine getting back home after, like, being in a submarine with a reindeer for 6 weeks? Like, they need some further commendations and medals of some kind, don't you?
And also, no one would believe them, right? Okay, yeah, so we in the war and we had a reindeer
Yeah,
on our
yeah.
submarine. No, you didn't. Yeah, no, we did. We had a reindeer in there.
I think he lost a
shit,
bit of
bro.
oxygen to his brain. While
Yeah,
he was
exactly,
under the
right, yeah.
surface, yeah. All right, well, that's my story. I think everyone gets the idea now. I don't need to go on much more with it. It's a reindeer in a sub.
Do you know
It's
how long
bloody
it was
weird.
there for? Sorry? Did we have that at the
6
beginning?
weeks.
6 weeks is a long time for
Yeah.
a reindeer to be on there. I like the idea of him pushing past everyone to get fresh air first.
Yeah, that's it. And
Get out of the way. Some
didn't
reindeer's coming.
I don't know if the story actually said what happened to him when he got to the destination. Did he go home with the captain and start shoveling snow out of the way?
Start working for the baby.
pram?
Yeah. Don't know.
Maybe we'll follow up in coming weeks. So you've got a story for me.
I do. My story is about the strangest game of soccer ever played.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, okay. So it's 1994. It's a Caribbean Nations Cup.
Okay.
Okay? The Caribbean nations get together and play off against each other
Right.
to decide who's the best Caribbean nation in
Okay.
soccer. So in the group stages, right? Barbados, Grenada, and Puerto Rico were in the group, right?
Okay.
So it's a three group.
Yep.
You're going to play each team. So first game, Grenada beats Puerto Rico 2-0. Barbados lose to Puerto Rico 1-0. So Puerto Rico's going through. Grenada and Barbados are going to play each other.
Right.
For Barbados to advance, they would need to win by at least 2 goals. So, okay, sorry. This is confusing. Grenada and Barbados are going to play. The potential outcomes are clear. Grenada would advance with a win. So if Grenada wins, they go through. Barbados would need to win by 2 goals because of goal difference,
Yep.
right?
I understand.
Okay. In this tournament, they had a soccer rule that had never been used in any other tournament.
Right.
They didn't realise
use
the
your hands?
potential downfall of this. No, hands is good. There were no draws, and it would go to extra time. That's fine. That's used anywhere. But for some reason, for goal difference, a goal scored in extra time was worth 2.
Yeah.
So, Grenada need to win by 2 goals to go through. Barbados just need to win.
Right.
It's the 80th minute. Grenada are beating Barbados 2-1.
Right.
So that means that Grenada goes through.
If results stay as they say.
Barbados goes through. The one losing because they're not winning by 2 goals.
Okay.
Okay, it's very confusing.
It is a bit.
I need a map. So the team that will go through that needs to win by 2 goals is up 2-1. 80 minutes to play. They haven't had much luck all game. They've only got their 2. They're not going to get a 3. They realise it would be in their best interest to score an own goal
Oh, wow.
to take it to extra time
Yeah.
because the 2 goal scored there would give them the through.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So 80th minute, they score an own goal. They keep playing for about 5 minutes. Then the other team realise it would be within our best interest to score an own goal because then we would go through. So there's this bizarre 6 minutes of football at the end of the game where each team is defending each goal. Yeah. And then eventually it goes to extra time, and I think Grenada score the goal and go through.
Right.
But they were defending each goal for about 5 minutes. The thing that I find funniest about all of this is no one really realised any of this till about the 80th minute.
Right. And so, and no one had probably thought of this scenario while the rule making was going on. Clearly.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Wow. And so, what did we have? Both goalies out of the goals, up in there.
They had a bizarre thing where, there was like a whole bunch of their own players defending the other goal. Just bizarre. Sorry, that kind of probably doesn't come across on podcast very well, but the end bit of it makes it work,
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. And was that rule cut?
Never used again. That's
But for the rest of the tournament, or did it have to stay in for the
It
rest?
wouldn't matter anywhere else because it was only group stages where that
Oh,
would have...
right. Wow.
Isn't that bizarre?
What year was that?
That was 1994.
What?
We should have known better, right?
Yeah, people were so much smarter in the 90s.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's an incredible story.
Isn't
Thank
that
you
good?
for that.
That's all right. I also wanted to read you a few Florida Man headlines that I found. just some weird headlines
okay,
from
yeah.
last year.
Sure.
I found them and I thought you might enjoy them, and I thought they would go well on this here podcast.
Yeah, sure. Florida man.
Yeah, so just a couple of headlines. That
Let's
we
not
won't
delve
go
into the story.
No,
The headlines is all
we
need.
can go from there.
Yeah.
Florida man doesn't get straw, attacks McDonald's employee. That's pretty... that's standard.
All right.
Florida man arrested after hitting dad with pizza because he was mad he helped birth him. These are real headlines.
Written by Florida men?
No, this is just, man vacationing in Florida finds hidden cameras in his Airbnb. That's fine.
Yeah. That's okay. That's not weird.
Florida man driving unregistered ATV ran over dog. Florida man learns the hard way he stole laxatives, not opioids. That's pretty good. Rattlesnake carrying Florida man claims to be agent of God.
Hang on. Rattlesnake carrying Florida man. The Florida man's
Whoa.
carrying the rattlesnake or the
Yeah, I think it's the Florida man.
Okay.
Yeah, well, look, I'll come back with some better ones next time I'm here.
No, that's okay. They're quite good, and you can't really go wrong with a Florida man headline because it's the gift that keeps giving. I'm going to throw the product of the week at you, if I may, and it is...
Wait, 1 sec. We go back. So that was in January when that guy attacked a McDonald's employee?
Yep.
On March 10th, Florida man who attacked McDonald's worker over straw sentenced to jail.
It took a
He
while
was
to get
jailed
across.
2 months later.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, go on.
Presumably he didn't attack him with a straw, though. Like, probably did some more harm than that.
Punched him, yeah.
All right. Product of the week. A reversible sequin pillowcase that reveals Nick Cage's face when you stroke it.
Yeah, look, that's not that weird.
You don't think?
No, because of the One True God. Like, are you familiar with the Nicolas Cage internet, One True God? He has a devoted internet following, let's say.
Fine. But outside of them, wouldn't it be weird to kind of be at someone's house, stroke a cushion absent-mindedly, and then see Nick Cage's face appear on it? And why would you want Nick Cage's face on your lounge anyway?
I like the absent-mindedly stroking pillows. That's what you do. It's just your thing, is it?
I probably do. I'm not paying attention when I do it. I'd like to think that...
I do like stroking a pillow that has sequins on it. You know that vibe?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's a
Could draw a
nice
dick on one in
texture.
Kmart.
I beg your pardon.
Draw a dick on one in Kmart.
Let's not.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a parting oddity because clearly you weren't impressed by the product of the week, which I'll put a link to if anyone wants to get it. You can get it from Amazon. Here's my parting oddity. If the last thing didn't impress you, this will impress you. The reason the taste of artificial banana flavouring doesn't taste like bananas is because it's based on a type of banana that was wiped out by a plague in the 1950s. Right?
Wow. So
You're tasting extinct banana.
that's
How about
pretty.
that?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You've dumbfounded me.
Yeah. Well, that's a piece of history you're having there. This is historical record every time you buy a
those
lolly.
bananas been?
Well, I don't know, but
They would have tasted like lollies.
yeah. Well, yeah, and but would you have the same association? You just be eating a lolly.
Did they
going,
look the same?
This is just eat a lolly and go. This tastes like
It's just fruit.
fruit.
Yeah.
What's going on here? I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I find that quite interesting.
Well, thanks for joining me here on A Bit Weird, but fair enough. I think. Do you, just as a final question, we talked about some weird stuff there. Do you think any of that's fair enough though?
So let's go through it. I mean, the reindeer on the boats. No, that's not really fair
Not
enough.
fair enough.
They shouldn't have.
Do you
left
think
that
the Russians
reindeer.
were taking the piss?
Maybe. See, that could be Ivan style comedy. You know, like we'll make these stupid Brits take a reindeer
And
on
they'll
their
be too polite to say
submarine.
no.
Yeah. Could be.
All right.
That's fair enough.
Okay, the sandwich shop, honking the horn near the sandwich shop, is that fair enough?
When you delve a bit deeper and we think it was a problem between two guys, one sandwich eating guy and one drinking guy,
One honking guy.
yeah, then maybe, that's fair enough.
Yeah, okay.
Soccer game, they made a bad rule.
Yeah.
Teams tried to exploit it.
No foresight.
80 minutes too late.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
People make mistakes.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And Nick Cage cushion, not fair enough?
No, that's fair enough. I
Okay.
get that because people will buy that. People want to make money.
All right. And bananas, extinct bananas.
That one's. I don't think you can put that into a category of fair enough or not. That's just that happens.
That's just a
That's
thing. Yeah, all right. Well,
Yeah.
there we go. We've categorized everything nice and cleanly for you.
It's
there.
either fair enough or not fair enough, or that's a thing.
Or that's just,
Yeah.
sitting as a thing that
yeah,
happens.
stays
Yeah,
as a thing.
Very good. All right. Thanks very much, Monty.
Anytime, brother.
Legend fella. And check us out on the social pages. Got any questions? Got any interesting facts that we should talk about? Please don't do that while I'm talking.
I was adding like fun sounds. To the
Oh,
background.
that was a sound effect.
Yeah.
It
I
was like
thought it would
a
help.
stinger or
Yeah,
a riser.
yeah, like sounds in the background. That kind of- Have you ever seen that supercut of Nicolas Cage in movies yelling?
Yes, probably.
Follow the social channels. Huh? Please, talk to me. I'm all alone. Please talk to me. Please. I like weird stuff. I like people to talk to me about weird stuff. Please. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get weird with me. Get weird.